Hello, this is Deckard6 and welcome back to Sea Dog Sultan. We just won a war with Ayutthaya and established ourselves as one of the predominant powers in Southeast Asia. Next, we're going to start cashing in on that influence. We're going to colonize Taiwan, which is a valuable province in its own right, and it will provide us a pirate base to start raiding against the Ming. Production research, we can lose the prestige. We have plenty of prestige to spend right now to protect our points. We're still spending most of our Diplo points in improving our colonization. Colonial range, settler increase, those are all important. I think the entire chain is pretty good for us. And it'll give us some of the things like the Sufi legacy that makes us much more able to go secular if we don't have to worry about the uprisings and the reduced income from all of the heathen provinces we're going to have. All the Hindus, all the Buddhists. I mean, it would still be nice to convert them for the sake of our religious unity, which affects our stability costs. But for the most part, we can afford to have a lower religious unity, I think. We're going to be rolling in money, which we can translate into points. Alright, the Malayan provinces are nearly cored. War exhaustion is continuing to go down. And we've got our colonization guard. You guys can take... you probably won't need a general, and most of the time I won't give you one. But I already have a general on staff, so off you go. Hey, colonial range. Still not that important to us at the moment, since... Alright, finishing those cores. Ding! Drop off at Taiwan, and send the colonists. Taiwan is a higher than 3 base tax colony, so we're going to be picky about what we end up getting in Taiwan. We will scrap the colony if we don't get a high value trade good. Let's take a second while this is just going to talk about trade goods and their effect on your income, because that's how we're going to get our money bomb rolling. I'm going to set a guy to start exploring while I'm doing this. So trade goods have a base value. This is decided just at the beginning of the game. It's either 2 or 3. I don't think there's anything much higher than that. There might be some things that have a base value of 4. No, everything's 2 or 3. Their base values then run through a supply and demand to affect its actual price. So the base value of T is 3, but the actual price of T is 570, 5 something. Keeps fluctuating a little bit. That produces, and then that's multiplied by the base tax of the province. So the higher the base tax, the more goods you're actually producing. So you have the base price plus the supply times the supply and demand times the size of the province. That gives you the actual number of goods produced. That's your trade value. The trade value then joins up into the trade screen. That's where you're actually getting the numbers you're seeing here. That's the produced trade value going into the local nodes and then either being consumed or pushed downstream. Oh, there's some more islands. There's some more islands, yay. Now I can start going to the Philippines. Philippines are going to be one of our major colonial zones. So that gives you some income from there. That's your trade income. Next is the production income. It takes the basic trade value and then runs it through your production efficiency, multiplies the production efficiency. So if you're able to completely control trade, you can effectively double dip into all the incomes. We are going to be controlling trade in the Philippines and in Malacca. So we are going to be double dipping on everything we produce in the Philippines. So we're going to want really high value trade goods because we're going to be getting their value twice. Oh, sure. I'll get extra prestige and a little extra piety. Oh, hey, and we can also get better troops. Which troops do I want? I think I want the defensive soldiers. Yes. Extra pip there, I think, is worth it. Can we start... Do we have the tech for... No, we don't have the tech for temples yet. That's another way to start getting our money bomb rolling. That's soon, though. Very soon. Alright, we finished up all of our cores. I will start converting these. I'm just gonna... Well... It's not gonna get much better. Let's start with the easy one. While we have the piety, we should use it for conversions. And as I might have mentioned, you can scrap a colony and it will reset to the trade goods. You can then colonize again and it will give you a different trade good, potentially. So if you get grain in a high value province, you can scrap it and try again for something more valuable. That's part of the reason our actual province of Brunei is so important. 9 base tax and spices, which have a really high supply and demand. You can see also what affects supply. It's based on how many areas are producing and demand. This is basically based around whether Europeans have discovered the East yet. If Europeans have discovered the East, the price of spices goes up. Every European that has means more demand for spices as we start selling our spices to the West. You can also do things to increase the amount of goods you're producing, though oversaturating the market will actually decrease the value of individual goods. But it also means that other people that are relying on that good, so if you can start pulling the value away from other people and at least increase your respective share. Alright, we've got a good look at all the islands around here. Just a couple more still to find. So there's a few provinces we're particularly interested in getting high value ones on. Taiwan has 4 base tax. Anything with higher than 3 base tax is of high priority to get a high value good on. 3 is medium priority and 2 or 1 is low priority. So things like Pose, Bone, and Menende are all fairly important. Most of the spice islands are only mid priority to see that they actually get spices there. Now the trick is going to be these are tropical, which means resetting your colony is going to take a long time and cost a lot of money. If I need to reset Taiwan, it's not going to cost that much. Alright, well, I want an advisor in that slot, so I guess I'll take the reinforced speed. Our manpower is recovering. Ugh. Execute the bailiff. And our good king is dead. We have a decent king, and our heir is not that great. We'll do the Yijia, and we'll do Demount and sect practices, and we'll do the Sheikh to Islam. Do we want to keep our piety up? Because we could convert a few more of these provinces, I think. This one will finish, at the very least. It's a tough choice now. Well, we can raise our stability by 1 to help that along a little. Nope, I just raised my stability. False alarm. Can't actually research the new technology. Really hoping Taiwan gets tea or porcelain. Both of those are extremely high value trade goods that are available in this node. Spices would also be acceptable, but I actually think that you're technically in a different area than the Philippines, so I don't think that's on the list. I just don't want you to start producing rice. I have things that need to be produced. Rice is not one of them. What's going to make our heir the general here? Because our heir's not that great. He's not the worst. He's a total of 5 points. It's just they're all in one category. So I wouldn't mind losing him and getting another reroll, but if I have to take him, I'll live with it. I mean, at least he's in a relevant category to us. Diplomacy points are really important to us, able to affect our colonizing, our trade, and basically everything we want to do primarily at this point. I'm also going to end up making the pirate fleet now that I have Taiwan as a base. I don't think I can actually send it until it's a core, but let's build 5 barks each for the trade fleet and a pair of carracks to guard them in case to make sure other people decide they're not going to break the pirates. And that basically eats our cash at the moment. Do I have any rivals we can take yet? No. No one else. We're not quite big enough to start challenging Ming, and all these other people just really aren't relevant to us. I mean, Daiviet, we should probably be able to rival them. They just got a lot bigger. They're now historical, Vietnam sized. And of course, our king dies in no time, giving us our mediocre heir. We don't have a legal heir, though. 6 points. At least he's better than our current one. Global settler increase. Bringing in marriageable women. We should find out what the trade good is any time now. Tea! That is great news indeed. Tea is a very valuable trade good. We will double dip on that like no tomorrow. Denouncement of sect practices. Boost stability. Still can't get that because I have to keep boosting stability. Our income isn't that great right now, mostly because we're doing all this colonizing and we haven't yet been able to start cashing out on our new pirate fleet. But once, Taiwan's finished, it'll be an extremely valuable province. Income's already 7. It's going to receive a further boost to its base tax, making it a base tax of actually 5 because of the population here. And with tea, that's going to put it right up. Tax is not our most important thing. That's another thing that you should factor in with this. This is actually a 4 base tax because it receives a whole other base tax from the natives. This is going to be a 5.4. This is almost a 5. This is another 5. So these are all extremely valuable provinces here in the North Philippines. The southern part of the Philippines, not as much. All right, we can afford to get things like grain and cloth and timber here, but up here we're going to want tea, spices, porcelain, coffee. There are 4 things we can comfortably roll in the Philippines and still be... Oh, who's dead? You know what? I'm going to take you. Finish up at least until we're done with our 1 conversion. Do we go for another conversion? I think we're going to be shifting to secular, so... maybe. While we have the guy, it's going to be 50 months. I think we can get it done. Actually, no. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fortify you, because that's one of the things. It's our quest right now, is to fortify you, and that's just a quest that's sitting there not producing us anything. And it is a good idea to fortify you as well. I'm not going to try to convert you. You're just too high a base tax at the moment. You'll take forever. Ships are still being built. Taiwan is still not done, but man, it's already going up in value. At the rate we're going, our profit will basically be coming from Taiwan. That's somewhat of an exaggeration, but only somewhat as the cost of these ships starts getting added in. What are we waiting for? Just yeah, one more ship of one more bark from each province, and then we'll be able to send it. Or really, we'll be able to send it as soon as Taiwan's done. I'm not sure if it has to be a core to make the jump off, but yeah. Oh, our power projection's going down. I really want to keep that up if I can help it. I actually want to be able to threaten, say, Japan or China, specifically so we can start getting the pirate power projection bonuses. I do have both of you embargoed, so I'm getting everything I can there. Do I have you embargoed still accidentally? Just left you embargoed? No, I didn't. I do want to fabricate a claim on you because our manpower is good, our rebellions are good. I see no reason not to grab you while everything is in such a solid, stable position. Alright. Now our pirate fleet is ready. Can we reach... We can reach Hongzhou. Go! Pirate! Aha. Dai Viet is failing to actually hold its territory. I saw 9 versus 16. They're not at the best odds right there. And we completed our quest. Excellent. Now we can look at turn Taiwan into a city. Another extra base tax in Taiwan means further goods production, which further not only gives us the base tax, the value from the base tax, but also the value from the goods. Oh, Taiwan is going to be such a valuable province as soon as we're done with it. Yeah, it's really going to... We've been hovering just under being able to build these temples for a while. We really need to finish that. There we go. Now, I'm talking about building temples. The first thing I think we're actually going to build is a constabulary in Brunei. Yeah, we'll definitely take this. We actually kind of want to centralize, particularly if it's draining from provinces with low... Yeah, we can press these fucking rebels. Draining from provinces with low value goods to provinces with high value goods, such as Brunei. Get that constable. Yep, that's going to probably be the highest return on investment for the time being. Income is completely stagnated while we're replacing those troops. How much actually is the value of this pirate node? Increase our profit by 1.22 a year. Not super high, but it gives us some presence in the region, and more importantly, as soon as we're able to rival Ming, it will give us power projection. That's half the reason for that pirate fleet, in all honesty. Taiwan, decent amount of prestige. Finished, turned into a city. We are going to, sure, fortify Taiwan, raise manpower a little, and it helps protect our investment. So you can see the production value from Taiwan already. Value of tea has gone down a little bit. Why is that? Well, what affects the demand? Or it might just be we've added so much tea to the market just with the... I'm looking at some of the things that affect it. Yeah, so it's any province owner or Western. We've added so much tea to the market by colonizing Taiwan that it's sort of to distort the market. Next on the list is across the sea here. Start jumping into the Philippines. I'm going to keep grabbing these at least until we get Sufi Legacy. That's the plan. Alright. send another colonist and cross our fingers. Because though, yeah, the Philippines, we're going to be picky because the Philippines is technically not tropical for the purposes of colonization, which means we're able to reboot our colonies and it's not going to cost us that much. The potential long-term income benefits from rebooting Philippines colonies to ensure high-value goods, particularly in these top 4 provinces, is worth it. I'm probably not going to reboot colonies on any of the Spice Islands. I might reboot colonies here in Sulawesi. Makassar is totally, pardon the term, fucked up right now by apparently rebels and stuff. So it might just be a good time to invade and capture them. I don't particularly see any real revolt risks here besides the ones caused by our religious conversions. Actually, these are decent revolt risks still. Non-accepted culture, intolerance. Yeah. I think we'll risk it, though. We will declare war on Makassar. And it will start shifting us toward secular for declaring war on a fellow Sunni Muslim, but that's okay. I think we're generally going to shift towards secular anyway, particularly if we get some of the cash for piety events. Claim our rival's province. Sure. I see no reason not to claim it. It's basically going to be free military power. And our army just storms in and starts sieging the city. Excellent. Because Makassar is another high value province for us. Alright, we're starting to get some more money piled up again. That means we can probably do that. You've just been sailing around in circles trying to discover the Spice Islands, and that's totally done. Of course now we have rebels. It's only peasants, but still, it's inconvenient. We can either start exploring for some of the islands out here in the Pacific, but those are all tropical anyway. So I'm actually going to explore and try to make diplomatic contact with some of East Africa. See if we can find Mahi. Won the siege of Makassar. People flee to the colonies. Sure, I'll pay diplomatic power for colony population. Alright, Makassar is now mine. I'll shift you back to the mainland. Fish. See, this is exactly what I was talking about. We can't afford low value goods in some of these provinces. So I'll just cancel it and I'll re-roll it. I hope I don't have to move my fleet back and forth too often here. Let's see. Got to remember to actually keep moving you or you'll just run out of food out here. And I'm hoping that the pagans down in the far south actually have established themselves enough to have a port, because that way when I finish exploration, I'll be able to just jump into Africa. Because sometimes they'll have a port here. That will give me the ability to move into Africa. Having that base in Africa is really handy for westernizing because it gives you almost a surefire border with Portugal or Spain. Integrate Makassar? Sure, that's 10 free administrative power. I was going to do that anyway. Probably going to have to jump back and once again start garrisoning Makassar just to keep it in line. I can't quite afford to have 2 armies running at the same time. Here's the events I was talking about. Dropping piety to receive income. Now we're going to start getting lower technology costs, extra tax income. So I'm going to build temples on all of the Malaysian provinces, I think. Whenever I have 50 gold to spend that won't drop me below 50 gold, I'm going to build another temple until all of my Malaysian provinces have temples. Right, you can go back to exploring Africa as soon as you're done being repaired. Alright, this time I'm not going to forget you, really. Last time I forgot him right after I started his journey. We're going to be able to start grabbing some of these islands once I have a second colonist to work with. There we go, there's Mahi. And it's a good thing I moved my garrison back. Figured they'd be getting uppity. Kilwa. Oh, looks like my target is been defeated by Kilwa. That is the usual. God damn it, I'm going to have to move my fleet back over again. We can pay the prestige. Fine, whatever. I was hoping also, there's also some provinces down here that eventually we can get some leapfrog going. Wow, stability drop. Regency Council. That's not awesome. What's my air look like? Regency Council's good. Air is passable. Alright, so we're just going to raise our stability as soon as we can. Oh yeah, that overextension from Makassar is what's eat our stability costs. Let's see. How much more? We're getting there. We're getting there. And I can build another temple. Further expand our base income. Come on, Makassar, finish up. You're almost there. There we go. Integrate Makassar. What other ones do we have? Recovered negative stability. That's basically a free one. I'm planning on doing that as soon as I can afford it. You can jump to Madagascar, but it's got really high natives, low base tax, not that great a resource pool, and it's unlikely to actually get you a land border. Whereas Mahi is already close enough to get you the pirate base you're going to need. Oh yeah, I have rebels I need to deal with. Up two, guys. Alright, we can raise our stability now. Boost. Grab the extra colonist. And tolerance of heathens, yay! Send him out to Diego Garcia. So we can start potentially establishing pirate bases in India and Africa. Okay, you guys are going to invade into me. That's fine. That's basically what I expected to have happen. Defeat rebels, yeah. That's what I'm currently doing, so I might as well take a mission to do it as well. If you're already doing something, grabbing a mission is a great way to just get a little extra something. Keep your prestige going, whatever. Samtoy is reached over 200 population, so it can start producing its goods anytime now. The chance of producing goods, I'm pretty sure, is a roll based on a percent chance, and it's weighted based on the population. So that by the time you're at like 800, it's an automatic, but it starts being available at like 200, something like that. I don't know the exact roll, but usually around the 250, 350, somewhere in that range, you have discovered what good is being produced at a colony. Spices. Spices is a perfect good. Spices is perfectly acceptable. You will stick with spices. And Ayutthaya declared war on me. Did Bengal at least joined in? So it's Bengal. Alright. So my army's a little beat up at the moment. I have the potential to raise more. Protect against Ayutthaya 17 at the moment. So let's grab Protect against Ayutthaya. As I'm planning on knocking out some of their men. Let's raise some additional mercenaries to help reinforce my main army. And let's pull back from the rebels at the moment. We're at least bloodying their nose here. Yeah. We gave about as good as we got, but we didn't win. Bengal totally has a land connection into this war, but is apparently also engaged in another war at the same time against very powerful neighbor. Ooh, mercenaries, get down here and join up with the main army. You're not doing me any good over there. Alright. Huddle down here for a little bit. Did I not... I could have sworn I picked a province, a mission. We're actually going to go for the lower piety now. Extra manpower is still useful to us. We're going to try and control the seas here. Daiviet is not involved in this war. They have virtually no navy, so I can go for complete naval supremacy here. I will let this army... This army has no leader. My leader's not great, but this army doesn't have one. So I should be able to inflict some casualties here. Particularly when I manage to actually roll 9. Alright, we don't have total control, total blockade efficiency, but we've got some. Let's wipe out this rebel army real quick. And I'll raise a couple additional mercenaries to do some sieging. You'll advance in here to help keep the mercenaries safe for the time being, actually. Hey, and Bengal is now finished with its war on the other front. It is now going to start able to bring me troops. I'm going to rush to their aid if I can get there in time. Depends on their own reinforcements as well. Nope. Still, there's not a great general here. I have the number advantage. Let's see if I can drive them off. This is not an ideal engage by any means. This is just me like, well, I already sort of... And I stack wipe them. I was considering that a real iffy engage, and I stack wiped. Let's recruit those additional mercenaries. We are actually going to spend the military power to raise war taxes. Because we cannot afford it otherwise. Yay! Those frickin' Buddhists have converted. Colonist Rush, that is a very good event. Hopefully... Brunei is still at war with some of its other neighbors. And Ayutthaya has sent a lot of troops up there. In the interest of to keep my ally in this war as a contributing partner and not letting them become a free source of war score for my enemies, I'm going to send up my main army into Bengal. Fish and Diego Garcia. Not ideal, but Diego Garcia is a low priority. The trade node here already has a lot of value. Its main purpose is as a port. Its main purpose there is as a port to allow us to base for further colonization or for pirate raids or for invasions or anything like that. Our explorer has died. That's not too bad. Gain a general with 100 tradition. That is one of the lamer 100 tradition generals I've seen, but right now we need the command power. You're fired. There's a better guy now. Even a couple of ranks of shock and maneuver are really useful right now. So Bengal's base got out of the war. I tried to rush up and help them, but it's just not happening. So instead, I'm going to focus on tearing up Ayuthya's shit down here. They still have a decent-sized army, and I'm still dealing with rebels here in Southeast Asia. It's just, yeah, Ayutthaya has to be taken down. This episode's gone a little long because Ayutthaya just provided a lot of difficulty with this surprise war. I figured they'd be timid enough that I'd be able to choose all the wars, but they're coming for me. I just don't think it's going to go really well for them. This has been Deckard 6. I'll see you next time.